piano students, welcome back. It's your piano teacher, Tim, from Piano Lessons on the Web. I almost said your piano teacher, Piano Lessons on the Web. That would not have made sense. We're off to a great start. Today we're going to have another terrific lesson. I'm so excited to be back with you guys and gals once again. Today we are doing the classic piano pieces that aren't too difficult to learn. Now, these aren't necessarily in the classical era, but I consider them must-know classics, and they're not going to be overly difficult, but I'll tell you that, once we get started with the lesson here. Let me say hello to our wonderful community of students that are here so far. Randy says, TikTok, TikTok. I didn't know you were into TikTok memes. I'm just kidding. So, welcome out, Randy. Bam and Molly says, waiting with a smiley emoji. Hector is ready, everybody. We got Jeremy here once again. Welcome out, Jeremy. Happy that you made it with us. Hopefully you're doing well. And, of course, we have Adria back here again. All right, we will get started here with the lesson here in a minute or so. Probably what I'm going to do is get the Facebook stream started. My desktop is messy, I agree. Avi, you know what? I was working on, if you notice over here, maybe you can't really see it. There's a little bit of a clear space here. I was working on it before, but I obviously did not get that far. You actually can't see it at all. See, now you can see it. Yes, I am aware that it's bad. Part of it is because I Photoshop a lot, and it's just easier for me to put the images on the desktop and work with them there. I should put a folder for it, but, being organized is something I've had to work hard for, and it's still a work in progress. All right, we're going to get started here. Let me get the Facebook stream started because it is 8 o'clock, and then we're going to get on with the lesson. So just give me less than a minute. While I'm doing this, feel free to chime in, say hello, whether it's your first time here or you're a returning student. Always love to hear from you in the chat, but if you want to sit back, relax, and enjoy, I'm totally cool with that as well. So just give me a few seconds here. Hello, students. Your piano teacher, Tim, here once again. If it's your first time joining us live, what I want you to do, if you're on Facebook, is to like our page. If you're on YouTube, what you need to do is you need to smash that subscribe button and hit that bell, turn on all notifications so that YouTube actually lets you know when I put out videos. How about that? So you don't want to miss out on the latest lessons. I have some coming out all the time. Mainly off the top of my head, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we meet live Fridays and Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you're subscribed, all notifications on. All right, we're going to get started here with the lesson. Let me bring something up here, and we'll get right on to it. Let me do like the little intro, and then we'll get on into our first piece. Yo, it's your piano teacher, Tim, here once again. And believe it or not, there are a ton of well-known, must-know classics on the piano that you've heard in movies, TV shows, cartoons, whatever. And believe it or not, they're not that difficult to play. Let me show you the first one. All right. All right, let me just check in here. Okay, it looks like everything's good. Always want to make sure the sound is working, right? That's pretty important. Okay. Here we go. The first piece I want to show... Bleh. The first piece I want to share with you is called Ave Maria, and this is by Franz Schubert, and this one is a great one. You may not recognize the title, but I think if I play the opening melody, you've probably heard this before. I'm just going to play a line or two of these because the whole point of this lesson is for you to just really know what these are, and so you can go out and learn on your own. All right, so here we go. So forth. What I like about this one and why you should learn it is it's in a fairly easy key signature, 2 flats, B and E. It's in an easy time signature, or a classic 4/4 that everybody loves so much. And it's a great way to practice playing triplet arpeggios in your left hand while having a simple melody with your right hand. And there's even just a little bit of polyrhythm going on here, but it's fairly easy. So nothing too crazy there. So that's the first one I recommend. Check it out. Let me show you the next one. Okay, the next piece, I'm willing to bet you've heard the piece, but you probably also know the title of this one, and that is Ode to Joy from Symphony No. 9 by our good friend, Beethoven. Now, the great thing about this one, again, easy key signature, easy time signature. You may notice a pattern of what we're looking for here. Simple chords with your left hand, simple melody line with your right hand, and yeah, it's overall pretty simple. There are versions harder than this, but they're never really hard. I picked this one because it's actually free. The other ones you got to pay for. All right, I'm going to play the first 2 lines of this one just so you get an idea on what it sounds like, what you're going to be in for. Here we go. So there you go. That's all I really have to say about that one. Simple rhythm, simple key signature, simple everything that you need. And I'm willing to bet you've heard that one before. At least, hopefully you have. That one's pretty well known. All right, let me show you the next piece. And then after we're done these guys, I asked you on social media about which ones you recommend, and I did get a few, so I will go over those, but towards, or later on in the lesson anyway. Okay, let me bring up the next thing we're doing here. The next piece is one, you might not be familiar with the title, but I'm willing to bet you've heard this in a movie before, and if you want to get into playing Chopin, this one is definitely the one you want to start out with, because Chopin is known for being fairly difficult, and this is probably the easiest first choice you should make. Okay, great things about this one. What do you think I'm going to say? Easy key signature, 1 sharp, F sharp. Easy time signature. Easy chords with your left hand. They don't really change too much. They just change a little bit measure to measure, or every beat or 2, and but not by much. So your hands aren't going to be jumping all around on the piano, which is something you want to avoid with some of these easier ones you want to tackle. Again, great practice with melodies in your right hand and chords in your left hand. Let me get it so I can see it here. And so let me play through the first 2 lines for you. And I'm willing to bet you've heard this one. Maybe, maybe not. But it is a classic, I would say. And there you go. There's the first 2 lines. Great practice singing out that melody in the right hand, which is something you should be working on, by the way. I find a lot of students, when they play pieces, they play them flat dynamics, flat balance between both hands. And, if you do that, it sounds really robotic and it just doesn't sound as good. So this one is a perfect opportunity to practice that. All right, on to the next piece. Ready? I am. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check in with the chat real quick because I just want to make sure that, everybody's good to go so far. It looks great. Okay, good. So we're going to continue here. Hope you guys are enjoying the pieces so far. We still have quite a few to go. Wow. Quite a list here today, which is why I kind of want to get through each one relatively quickly. All right, let me get this up. Okay, this one, again, you've probably heard this before. That's the name of the game for today, is Canon in D by Pachelbel, or Pachelbel, something like that. I'm always bad at pronouncing all these. But the great thing about this one is that, once again, it has a fairly simple left hand, and a little bit more going on with this one, which is fine. It really is good practice playing arpeggios that are a little bit more spread out. And what I really like about this one is it's the same left hand pattern over and over and over again, which you would think would be boring, but it's not. What makes the song is that every time that pattern comes in, which is every line, it adds something to it. So as you can see on the second line, now you have half notes with your right hand. And then on the next line, now you have chords in your right hand. So I think you get the idea. And as you continue to go and go and go, you're adding a little bit more complexity to the right hand each time. That makes it great for beginners because what it's going to do is it's going to get you really accustomed to playing that bass line. And then by adding just a little bit each time, it's so much more easier to manage than it is just kind of throwing you in all at once to those difficult sections, which usually will not work out too well for beginners. Let me play the first couple lines of this one for you. Again, great practice playing out your right hand over your left hand. Here we go. Oh. There we go. And there you go. Okay, there's Canon in D. Let me show you another terrific classic you must know. Okay. Okay, this next one, what do you think it is? Is it well known or unwell known? It's well known, isn't it? So, especially if you've been following the channel for a long time, you probably even know what song this is going to be. Think about it. What do you think it's going to be? Here we go. No time to think. It's Prelude, number 1 in C major by Johann Sebastian Bach, our boy. And this is from the Well-Tempered Clavier. The great thing about this one, it looks complex, but it's really not, because this is how it works. You got 2 notes in your left hand, and you hold those, basically, while you play this pattern while you're with your right hand. Wait a second, guys. My camera's frozen. That's not good. How long has it been frozen? I hope not long. Uh-oh. All right. Somebody tell me when the camera stopped working so I can go back and redo it. Give me a minute, everybody. Like less than a minute. This happens on a rare occasion, and I'm really thrilled when it happens. You can tell. All right. Just give me a minute, and I'll be with you guys. So somebody try to remember when it went out. Hopefully it just in the last couple minutes, but... Really, since the beginning? Oh, that's fantastic. Is it back? No, it's still frozen. What the heck? Alright, hold on. I don't know what's going on here, guys. Hold on. Sorry about this. So if you're just tuning in, I'm trying to fix whatever's going wrong here. Well, if you can still hear me, it's frozen. Like the whole thing now. Okay, let me know if it comes back, everybody. Okay. Incoming, I think. Okay. Let's see. Is it working? Is it continuing? This is really a bummer, guys. Testing. Am I back? I'm back. Am I back? Let me know in the chat. Better now. Okay, you can see my hands. Okay, so we are back, guys. I'm trying to think about what to do now because I checked the recording and it had been like that the entire time. So when that happens again, even if it's something relatively small like that, what I want you to do is be super obnoxious in the chat and write in all caps that there's a problem with something. Because I didn't know about it. I checked with the chat a couple of times and I didn't see it. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying in the future, it would really help me out if you're like, hey, dude, you're, I was going to say you're effing up. Something's not right. So let me know. Can you see me? You should, yeah, I can see me. So I know we're good. Okay, all good now. Yeah, be like obnoxious about it. Like, hey, dude, it's not working. Now I'm trying to think about what to do because I really should start over, huh? I apologize, even though it's not my fault, but I really have to start it over because the lesson is like ruined without it. So hopefully you don't mind, but I'm going to start over again. There's a word I want to say right now, but I'm not going to because we're a family-friendly channel. Yeah. Well, at least it's going to be well rehearsed, so at least there's that. Okay, now that we're back, I'm going to check in with the chat every so often. Like I said, if there's a problem, all caps, be like really annoying about it. So I see it. All right, here we go. Yeah, instead of getting too frustrated about it, I'm just gonna go from the beginning. All right, here we go. Hey, your piano teacher Tim here once again, and I have a great collection of pieces for you today that I consider must-know classics. Now, the best part about these is that they're not that hard to play. Let me show you the first one. Okay, the first piece I have for you is, I hope if you can see it, Ave Maria. This is by Franz Schubert. And this one, even if you haven't heard the title before, I'm willing to bet that you have heard the melody because I have heard it in quite a few movies, TV shows, and the like. So, before I start playing it, by the way, for each of these, I'm only play a line or two, just so you get a little sense of how it sounds, because I want to get through the entire list. The great things about this one is it's an easy key signature. There's just 2 flats to worry about. Easy time signature. We are in 4/4, everybody's favorite. And it's also great practice for left-hand arpeggios that are a little bit more spread out. And it really has this really nice, really entrancing kind of harmony and a melody to go along with it. Another great thing is it's great for playing out the melody on the right hand while you have activity going on in your left hand. So here we go. I'm going to play these 2 lines just for you. There we go. I'm going to try that again because I did mess up a little bit there. go. Pretty simple melody in your right hand, simple kind of left hand going on. Great practice for triplets, by the way. All right, let me show you the next piece I have for you. All right, I'm checking in with the chat to see if anything's wrong. Is everything good so far? All right, great. It looks like everything's great. All right. So it looks like we're all good. Okay, next one. Yeah, in terms of handling the tech problem well, I've learned that getting upset is like it just makes things worse. Okay, here we go. Okay, this next one, I'm willing to bet you've heard the title and how it sounds because it is that popular and it is that easy, guys. Let me show you what it is. It's Ode to Joy from Symphony No. 9, and it's by our boy, Beethoven. Now, this one's great because why? You may notice a trend with these. Easy time signature, easy key signature, like pretty simple melody going on with the right hand with simple chords and simple notes going on with your left hand, which is what you want to aim for. All right, let me show you on the piano now how it works. So I'm just going to play the first couple lines for you. Go. That one's probably the easiest one out of all the ones I'm going to give you tonight. All right, more and more classics coming your way starting right now. Okay, here we go. We're making progress, guys. We're almost on this third one. Perfect. Okay. Kind of thinking about what I'm going to say. The next one is great because if you've ever wanted to learn how to play Chopin, which his pieces are known for being notoriously difficult, this one is the exception, or one of the few exceptions. And this one is the Prelude in E minor, Opus 28, number 4. And if that doesn't sound familiar to you, I'm willing to bet that you've heard the piece before, because it's really popular. And this one's great because why do you think? Well, easy key signature, easy time signature. And a great thing about it is you have these repeated chords in your left hand that just change a little bit every beat or two. And you have a nice, slow melody with your right hand that's easy-ish to play. So if you're just getting into the experience playing out your right hand louder than your left hand when your right hand has the melody, that's what I find a lot of students do, is they play pieces very flat, and what you need to do is you need to start playing out your melody. That's what it's really going to make it sound nice and musical, and this piece is excellent practice for that. So I'm going to play the first two lines for you. I have a feeling, again, like I said, that you know this one already. So here we go. And so forth. All right, we have a lot more to cover, and that's going to start right now. Okay, making good progress. We're almost back to where we were. It's great. Okay, the next one, I'm willing to bet you definitely know this one. At least I think you should. Every piano player should. And if you don't recognize the title, you probably recognize the melody and everything else going on. This is Canon in D. Hell, if I could pronounce letters right, by Johann Pachelbel. Now, the great thing about this one is it's great practice for playing simple arpeggios that are a little bit more spread apart than you're probably used to with your left hand, while again having simple notes with your right hand. And what I like about this one is that every line that goes by, you have the same left hand part. However, you're adding a little bit to the right hand every time. And the cool thing about it and why it's so good for beginners is that, think about it, if you play that bass line and it's the same all the time, you've got that down, right? So every time it adds just a little bit to the right hand, it makes it much more manageable for a beginner as opposed to something where it's just dropping you into something really difficult. All right, let me play the first 2 lines or so of this magnificent gem. Okay, piano's still working, good. Okay. See, very nice. It brings up a point I want to make, and that is, so you have this first line here. Let me actually just show you this. The first line where you have no right hand at all. However, your right hand should be, even during that whole line, should be right ready to start on the starting note there. It's just a good habit to get into, and I just wanted to add that little tidbit since it came to mind. All right, more awesome classics coming your way, and I'm going to show you the next one. All right, I'm going to check in with the chat really quick to make sure nothing has died again. All right, good, we're back. Please play Despacito. You know what? I'm probably going to get copy striked for that. PewDiePie did. Copy strike, I love that word. All right, here we go. On to the next one. You guys didn't come here for me to talk about PewDiePie. At least a lot of you didn't. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, this next one. If you've been following me for a long time, you probably know what piece it's going to be. What do you think? What do you think I always include? Because it's such a good pick, by the way, in these types of lists. And, of course, you're going to say Minuet in G. Wrong. It is Prelude, number 1. In C major. Help if you could see the piece. And this is by our boy, Johann Sebastian Bach, the man. And this is from the Well-Tempered Clavier. This is a great piece to play by Bach. And one of the reasons behind that is it looks kind of difficult at the first glance. I know a lot of students who look at it and are like, oh, this looks hard. But it's really not that hard. You play the first 2 bottom notes with your left hand, and you hold those while you play this repetitive pattern with your right hand. And the great thing about it is each measure changes just little to little. Another great thing is that Bach is fairly difficult for beginners because he uses something called counterpoint, basically meaning that there's 2 or more lines of melody going on at once, which can be very tricky to play. It takes a lot more brain power and finger technique to be able to play properly. So this one is a great foray into Bach because it doesn't really involve that. It's really, really simple, repetitive in a good way. What makes this entire piece, though, is adding in the dynamics after you've learned all those wonderful notes. All right, I'm going to play the first 2 lines for you just so you get a feel. And I could continue to play it. I have almost the whole thing memorized, but that one's a great one. Again, probably one of the easier ones on the list, so if you want to start out with that one or Ode to Joy, probably the best places to start. All right, let me show you the next piece. All right, I'm going to check in again with the chat real quick. All right, here we go. Oh, we got 3 more guys, and this one I actually didn't talk about yet. Okay, another classic one where you hear the title and you might not recognize it, the Blue Danube. It is a waltz, and you're like, well, I'm probably, I'm not familiar with that one. But when I play it, you'll go back in your mind to all the movies it's been in, all the TV shows. And I guarantee you've heard this one before. I think I've heard it the most in cartoons, to tell you the truth. All right, on to why it's a good piece. 3/4, easy time signature. Easy key signature. It is in the key of C. I think this one's really in the key of D, but like I said, I got you a free one today. I included these in the description, by the way, and this one makes it a little bit easier to manage. Still simple nonetheless. So if you take a look here, you have the melody coming in. You might already know what piece it is already. It's a waltz, and what that really is going to tell you, let me show you the piano. Would that help, wouldn't it? So you basically have chords going on each measure. But what a waltz does is it's always in 3/4 time, and you're gonna play the bottom note of the chord and then the 2 tops. Like that. Pretty simple. It is the same thing over and over again. But in a good way. Okay, let me play this one for you. Like I said, when I play it, I think you're gonna go, aha. I do know that one. All right, here we go. Whatever happens on the next line. Here we go. So I would think you're familiar with this one, right? So learn this one. This one's also on the easier side. This one was actually really fun to play. I really love doing that melody, in the beginning, and then jumping up. I think they even played this in The Simpsons, like way back when Homer went into space and he's like flying around eating potato chips, which you had to know. All right, now let me show you the next amazing piece that you need to know. Ready, set, go. Okay, this next one is Arabesque. This one's a little less well known, but I think this is a must learn for people on the beginner side of things. And the reason behind that is it's, again, an easy key signature, easy time signature, and you got simple chords in your left hand. But then you have these little segments of the A minor scale going on, and they're really good practice. Let me show you the piano here. They're really good practice in playing legato notes, meaning you're connecting them and then ending with a staccato. That's kind of like a really cool effect to it. All right, so let me show you this one. Oh, and then a little bit later on, it kind of switches up what's like the activity from the right hand to the left hand. So then you're focusing. It's really good practice for both hands. Okay, here we go. Let me play this one for you. There you go. There's the opening part to that one. Another, it's still famous, but not as famous. I like to include a nice mixture of things going on here just for you. Okay, on to the next piano piece. Okay, just want to take a quick look at this one. Oh, I'm glad this website's back up. It was down earlier. Okay, enough chitter chatter. Okay, you may be asking, Tim, where are the Mozart pieces? And which one should I really start with? Well, I have the answer just for you. So, this is, hope you could see it, Air by ya boy, Mozart. And this one is a good choice because why? What do you think? There's a trend going on today, and I want you to apply this when you're looking for pieces to play if you're in the more in the beginner stages. Easy time signature, easy key signature, simple notes going on between both hands. The cool thing about this one is that it's not just chords with your left hand. You actually have different things going on with your right hand and your left hand. And again, the whole goal is to sing or play out the melody as best as you can and get those staccatos in there. All right, are you ready? Because I am. It'd help if I could play it. Hold on. Let's try again. And there you go. There's the beginning to that one. Okay, on to the next section of the lesson. There's still much more. Okay, if you're liking the lesson so far, what I need you to do is I need you to take that like button, the thumbs up on it, and I need you to get your mouse pointer, and what I need you to do is hover over that like button and kablooey! Hit that like button, because not only does it help the video with the YouTube algorithm, but it also helps other students know that this is a quality lesson that they can learn from as well. So smash the like button. Okay, on to the next part. Seriously now? All right, hold on, guys. Man, this sucks. Hold on. Okay, got him. Sorry, my heater was kicking on. I had turned it down a bit, but it looks like it must be really cold out. So it started to kick on. Okay. Ooh, perfect. Perfect timing. Let me check in with the chat really quick just to make sure we're all good to go. Bye, Catherine. Unfortunately, I did not. Oh, got a dash sadly. Already saved this in no playlist. All right, great. To watch later. Perfect. Okay. All right. Here we go. We're back in action. It's everybody's favorite time in the whole wide world. What do you think time it is? Money time? Fast car driving time? Sleepy time? No, it is quiz time where I'm going to give you a quiz. Isn't that awesome of me? But it's for a good purpose, because if you can answer these questions well, then you got pretty much the most important things out of this lesson. If you can answer them, then you should really go back and see if you can pick out the answers. Now, I know this one's really more about practicing the pieces, but there are some things that I mentioned throughout that you should be aware of. Question the first. Without looking, I don't even know if I can do this, guys. I want you to list the titles and the composers of all the pieces that I gave you today. Like I said, you can go back in the lesson. You can cheat and look in the description if you want to. But I want you to write them down, which is part of your assignment. So then you remember to go look for them. You can even copy the description with all the links if you'll want for later viewing. That was question the first. The second one gets a little tougher. Are you ready? Second question. Chopin. You know what? I don't think I mentioned this in the lesson. I'm going to give you the answer. Chopin was the composer of what era of music? And he was the composer of the Romantic era. But here's part two of the question that I did mention. His music, for the most part, is known for being what for piano players? So that one I did. So that's the real question. Question 3, we're getting tougher here. Bach was known for what compositional technique? And what was the general working behind how that technique works? It's kind of redundant, but how does that technique work and why do you need to know about it? Okay, I asked you on social media basically your recommendations of pieces, and we're going to go over the submissions that I got right now. Okay, let's check everything out, guys. All right. So hold on a second, because I want to bring up the window. All right, we're almost there. Another 5 seconds, probably, hopefully. All right, looks like everybody came back after the entire thing crashed, so I thank you for that. Okay, so I asked you in the community tab, basically what you recommend. And I did get a submission or two. And the first one is by, and forgive me for, I'm just going to call you Christopher. Prem Sudan, Christopher. But I think you probably go by Christopher, right? All right, so Christopher asks, Moonlight Sonata, first movement, and Schubert Serenade. So Moonlight Sonata, I'm just going to kind of show you on the piano here because I'm willing to bet that you've heard this one before. This one is quite a bit more difficult than the other ones I've given you. It's not impossible. As you can see, you got simple triplet patterns in your right hand, simple octaves in your left hand. It does eventually get a little bit more complicated, but it's not too bad. That one I would learn probably after all the other ones in terms of difficulty anyway. If you're ready for that, go for it. That's a classic on the piano. That's learnable for sure. So I will include it there. That is Moonlight Sonata, first movement. You can actually type that into Google and find it pretty easy. Always what I do is I type in the title, what I want, Moonlight Sonata, first movement, and then I just type in piano sheet music. Sometimes if you type in PDF, that also helps as well. Okay, now Schubert Serenade. Let me look this one up because I did look it up earlier and I do agree with this suggestion. So hold on. Okay, I'm almost there. And I think this is the one that you're talking about. I apologize if it is incorrect. Okay, the Serenade by Schubert. Now, this one's not bad. This one, again, has a little bit more going on with it than the other one, but it isn't a fairly simple key signature and a time signature. See, the opening there is really cool. Like, it's pretty easy to play, has a really nice kind of epic sound to it. I really like that. Oops. Although I played the flat. And of course, I didn't practice this one ahead of time since it was a suggestion, but just want to throw it out there that this one looks good to me. It's right now in line with what we want. Okay, next submission. Oh. The next submission is just a comment that says first by the Nacho Poodle. Thank you very much, Nacho Poodle. Wonderful, wonderful comment, especially if we were in 2009 instead of 2019. I think it's funny that people still do the first thing, but thanks for commenting nonetheless. It made me smile. All right, let's get on to the next section. I'm going to check in with the chat for a minute. Okay, looks like everything's good. And then I'll say hi to everybody. We'll go over questions and things like that. Maybe make sure to smash like if you haven't already. I noticed it's skimpy on the likes today. I'm just kidding. All right. Let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is it's going to seem like I'm ending the lesson, but I'm not. What I'm going to do is I am going to kind of do my outro for when I edit together the lesson, so it makes sense. But I'm sticking around after, even if I say goodbye. So just to let you know. So let me sure. There we go. So where should you go from here? Well, the first thing you want to do is smash. I always like saying smash the subscribe button. Turn on all notifications by hitting that bell because we have new lessons coming out all the time. You don't want to miss a beat. And then, of course, after this, you need to work on your two-handed piano playing more. I've been watching you. I've been using my telekinesis to figure this out. And what you need to do to get better is check out this playlist right here where it's about two-handed piano training. This is really going to help you play the pieces that I showed you today. Thanks for coming out for another great lesson. It's been your piano teacher, Tim, here, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, still here, like I said. I didn't jump ship yet. I love these people. Hold on. Okay, great. You know what? Carol, don't abuse your newfound powers, but I am adding Carol as a moderator, and I'm going to add Jeremy as a moderator because I trust a lot of the other people here, but I trust you too to not abuse this power. So what this is going to do, very simply, if somebody is being a jerk, you now have the ability to silence them for a certain period of time or just flat out ban them. I realize we don't have any, I haven't assigned any moderators in a while, so I had to take out the trash myself. All right, let's see here. All right, everybody, Mini TK, thank you for coming out tonight. I really appreciate that. I believe you're new. Susan, Andrew as well. Thank you so much for coming. And I apologize to anybody else. Same thing with Eduardo. I believe you're new on the newer side. I may have seen you before. So yeah, welcome out. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to look at the chat as much because I had to redo the lesson, but thank you for coming out. Really appreciate your patience, and you're welcome back anytime. Love having you out, so thank you so much. And then anybody else I missed, welcome. Somebody came back for the first time in a long time, they said. I'm trying to remember who that was. I just briefly saw that in the chat. Thank you for coming by. That might have even been Catherine. Thank you for this amazing lesson, says Narish. I gotta go, but I'm definitely going to learn from this. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, come on, get those 45 likes in there. I agree. Why don't we have 45 likes? I'm just kidding, but I do encourage it. I don't know how sheet music. All I know is treble clef and bass clef. Yeah, you got to start somewhere, and that's totally fine. I do have a lot of lessons on the channel about reading music. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it just for you. Is I am going to find you a link to probably like the #1 lesson. No, let me do this. I'm going to get you a collection of lessons because I'm that good. Okay, let me try this. Here we go. This is what we want. All right. So, this is a playlist on how to read music better. I also have a simpler playlist that you might want to check out first, but this one has some must-watch lessons in it. I'm not even just hyping it up so you watch it. It really does. Like some of the best lessons on the channel, and by mastering reading music, it's really going to help you out. Fanny says, I wish I had 100 hours, Tim. I'd have enough time to practice all these. They're all some pieces you're giving us. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Like I said, I spent a lot of time on this one because I wanted to pick pieces I hadn't shown you a million times before. Okay. Do you think Clementi sonatas are difficult to learn? Let me look here. It's a good question. Now, sonatas or sonatinas? Because the sonatinas probably are easy enough. Let me just look at one of these bad boys real quick so I can kind of just give you a thumbs up or thumbs down. Oh, yeah, definitely great. You know what? If I make a follow-up to this video, I'm going to include these in here. I love this recommendation you gave. This is like a perfect piece. And I remember somebody recommended these in another lesson. That one's really, really cool. And then all of them, I think, are around the same level. So absolutely. Great, great suggestion. Thank you for that so much. I don't know where I'm going to put this, like just in my notes here. And that's what, Clementi, huh? Sonatina or sonatas. All right. Thank you for that suggestion. That was great. Like I said, I could probably make a few of these lessons. Like I could make a part 2, part 3 of this one. Okay. Yeah, you know what you can do? I had a question by Carol here about like what to do if you're a moderator. If somebody leaves like a bad question or a comment saying that I'm bald, because that's what they do a lot of times, is hit this next to their comment. What you want to do is you want to hit the 3 dots here, and you can report, remove, put them in timeout. I can hide them from the channel. I don't know if you can do that. And then I don't think you can add moderator either. So you can either put them in timeout. Honestly, if there's an option to just flat out ban them, I'm not going to stop you from do that. Like if you really have the patience, maybe put them in timeout first and then just flat out ban them. Surprisingly, we haven't had a lot of trouble with trolls as much as we used to have trolls all the time, which is funny, but still distracting. Carol, once you put them in timeout, I believe it will block their message. And especially if you can hit remove as well on the side. Yeah, so there's a three-dot menu that pops up. Now, I don't know what it's like if you're on mobile, that's any different. But my stream seems to be okay. Sonatina's. Hey, Tim, I wanted to tell you that I'm now a college student. Well, congratulations, the bird. Everybody, round of applause, firm handshakes all around to the Bird 101 for being a college student now. An exciting time. I miss college to a degree. There's things I don't miss about it because, I don't know, running this channel and everything is just so awesome. I'm not even kidding. That I think this is my favorite time in my life. I mean, there's things that I wish I had that are gone, but you know, you really have no choice in life but to accept and make the best out of where you're currently at. That's Tim's words of wisdom for today. Okay, everybody. All right. So I probably didn't get to everybody's comment or question, and that's totally fine. Thank you so much for coming out. I want to do one thing before we go, so don't click out yet, is I want to show you my website for two reasons. I'm going to, kind of let you, if you're interested, learn about it on your own by reading through the website. But I have courses over on my website, over 20 courses designed to help you learn a lot more about piano music. If you're digging the lessons over here on the channel, you're really, really going to love the courses because they include instructional videos along with, assignments, real sheet music to play, and notes so that you're not just learning each topic, but you're practicing and mastering them as well, as you would expect from a course. But the real reason I wanted to show you this is if you go to the community tab here and you really want to attend on a regular basis and you're digging this live thing. Live streams, that's what they're called. You'd think after doing them for 3 years I would know. But anyway, fill out this form to get an email reminder 30 minutes before we meet. And we have the calendar down here of what we're talking about. So next lesson, I've gotten submissions. If you submitted a student showcase to me, I did get it. I will respond to those emails tomorrow. I actually got all of them today, which was amazing. I got like 4 or 5. So that's great. But what's happening on Friday is a very special live stream. It's called the Student Showcase. It's the first ever of its kind on YouTube. At least I'm pretty sure. I don't think anybody's done it. But that's not really the point. The first ever for the channel. And I will, basically what it is you send me a recording of your playing. You can send it to me, tim@lessonsontheweb.com. You can Facebook message it to me. And those are probably the two ones that I recommend. That'll probably do the best. You can, put it up on YouTube, send me a link, or see if you can upload it as an attachment. That might be tricky since file sizes for videos are pretty large. But do your best to get it to me. And basically what you do, how it works, is you send me a submission. And at the end of the month, there's going to be a live stream called the Student Showcase where I take all the submissions I've gotten through the month and I review them on the channel. Now, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give you constructive criticism like I would if I was teaching you one-on-one. So this is a really good opportunity to, get some feedback. The only stipulation is that you can't, only one submission per student per month. So you could actually submit a submission to me here in January, and then after the showcase, send one for me in February, one in March, one in April. But don't send me 5 in January, 6 in, and then 3 in the next month. Don't do that. I'm only going to take the first one, ignore the rest, because I do have to, make it an opportunity for everybody to get in. I hope to continue this for at least 6 months, see how it goes. I think it's a really good idea, and I think it's a really good way of incorporating you guys and girls and women and men into, the class, really, because you really just hear and see me play most of the time. We're going to hear and see you play. In terms of making the video, you may have questions. Do I have to show my face? No, unless you want to. Just try to show a angle of your hands. It doesn't need to be like my setup where it's like perfect. You know, you don't have to spend money on it or a lot of money on it at all. You can film it on your smartphone. You can have somebody film it behind you. You know, you can figure it out probably. It doesn't need to be top quality video, but if I can see your hands, that's great. It's most important that I can hear what you're playing. Okay, that's how it works. And that's what we're going to do. It's going to be the first student showcase on Friday. And then on Sunday, I have a new series coming out called Piano Theory. I'm probably going to make it a more enticing series title. But basically what it is it's basically music theory, but how it actually applies to playing piano. So that's a comment I get a lot is like, well, I get the theory, but I don't get how this helps me play piano. And I'm going to teach you the theory and apply it to how to learn piano. So I think it's going to be great. I hope I did okay. Just showed the side of my hands. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, everybody. Hold on a second. There's one thing I want to do here. Trying to find somebody. I recommended this afternoon by mail. That must have been earlier. All right, everybody. Have a great night. It froze. It shouldn't be frozen. Am I back? Mini froze. Main vid froze. Are we back? Back now. Okay, great. We're gonna end anyway. I might as well end it. I don't know whether there's a storm going on outside. I don't know if that's messing with the signal, but we're just gonna end it today, and you know, cut our losses. All right. I hope everybody had a good lesson today. I had fun teaching it after we survived the crash of my tech, but we are back now. All right, everybody, have a great evening. Thanks you for coming. Make sure you're liked. Make sure you're subscribed. Share this video and all my videos with your friends and family. Thanks for coming out, and I'll see you in the next lesson.